Da, da, da. It is now episode 109. This is our fourth place video, episode number 2. Video number 2. The long-awaited video number 2, right?
You betcha.
Yeah, you betcha. There he is, talking like a little Minnesotan again. So, this is the box filled with cards, which we kind of already alluded to before, from the fourth place of the Blue Jackets 66 contest. MC and I won that. And by the way, I'm MP Fox.
And I'm MC Fox.
And today's the first reveal video. Actually, we've got about 10 that are slotted and lined up. So we're going to go through some of these. And this first video is going to be oddities.
What in the world is that word?
Oddities. Something that's a little odd. Something that's a little Odyssey. That's a Kiss song. Actually, the best song off of Music from the Elder. But that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, maybe. We have to do one of my Kiss videos.
We got to do a Kiss video. That's right.
Like
we got to have some time. But in oddities, what is that? We're going to show something that's not really a card. Something that's not your standard card. In the 1980s, Topps. You know who Topps are? Have you ever heard of them?
I might have heard of them 15 million times.
Yeah, the Topps company lost their exclusive licensing for baseball products, and other companies came on the scene. Now, throughout the time of baseball cards and different cards, as we've seen a lot of great videos, there are a lot of different ways to market baseball cards, whether it's the wonderful Bob Feller ice cream cap that we saw Blue Jacket show the other day, to other food type stuff, Purina dog food, different dog food. And now we're talking old boring stuff, right, Mateo?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to show some vintage, what he would say is vintage, from the 1980s. So in the 1980s, different companies came on. Fleer and Dunras came on, and they started to produce cards, and they were all putting out different things. Actually, RC Cola had some great cans with baseball players on it. But Topps countered with a bunch of things, whether it's stickers or hologram cards, that sort of thing. And they also came out with something called Baseball Foldouts. And this was 1983 that they came out with these. And how old were you in 1983, Mateo?
Negative 35.
You weren't even born yet in 1983. Actually, your father was still in high school in 1983. I don't remember ever seeing these in 1983. But they came out, and they came in a little booklet that were like postcards. And I remember as a kid, you'd buy these booklets of postcards when you went on vacation with different things. But there's 17 players in each one, and a set consisted of 5. And we got all 5 as part of the fourth place contest. Okay, so again, each company, whether it's Topps, Dunras, Leaf, Fleer, all that, we're fighting for the dollar, the collectible dollar. A couple of weird things about this. Again, as I look at it, there's some really cool pictures inside of here. We're going to show some of them off. But they're 3.5 inches by 5 and something inches. So your standard card, and we stole this from Mama Fox over on her little pile there by the computer. This is an Albert Pujols. So this is your standard card. And this is the postcard size. Okay, storage problem right there in certain areas. And also there's a display problem, because I would like to display some of these because there's some great looking things, and it's a great memory and great from the past, but they're two-sided. So here's one side, here's the other side, upside down, by the way. Am I keeping you awake?
Hardly.
Hardly. Yeah, hardly. So there's a display issue. So if anybody's got any cool ideas as far as display, just let us know here. Leave it in a comment down below. But with these little fold-out packs, they were separated into active leaders of the time. And in set number 1, it was the pitching leaders. And on the back, it shows Gaylord Perry. Do you know anything about Gaylord Perry?
Got no clue.
No idea. His brother Jim used to play for the Twins, and I remember him when I was a small kid, and people talking about Jim Perry. But this guy right here, at the time, was the active career wins holder, and he had 307 wins at the time. He was also known for doctoring baseballs. You know what that is?
Yeah.
That's like the spitball.
Ooh.
And things like that, putting substance on it. And actually, he got away with it quite a bit, and it was kind of interesting. He was quite a character, and he played for a lot of teams. And I remember seeing once he was wearing a jersey with a whole bunch of different emblems from different teams that he played for. But he moved around an awful lot. I believe he started out with the Giants. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But he played all over the place. This is him towards the end of his career with the Mariners. And it was interesting seeing these because all of these players, it's towards the end of their career. Most of them, I should say, just because it's the career leaders. So in the wins list, I mean, we've got Gaylord Perry. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
How about Steve Carlton?
Barely.
Jim Cott?
No.
Fergie Jenkins?
No.
No. Tom Seaver?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you've heard of Tom Seaver. I know you heard of Jim Palmer because he's played on one of your teams at the baseball game that we play, right?
No.
I think. Well, maybe not. Oh, that was Dwight Gooden that pitched for you. But people like Don Sutton, Phil Niekro, he was a master knuckleballer. Who else is a master knuckleballer? Your dad. We were just playing catch, so you saw it all. Okay. But anyway, it's very interesting to see. And see this Circle Me Burt Blyleven here? And I wish I had a better way to show all these. But it is really, really neat. Now, if Topps were to come up with one of these for now, I'm going to let Mateo tell you just 10, or the top 10 people that would be in the pitching leaders here. The active pitching leader for victories. Who would be in this booklet right now?
Irvin Santana, Adam Wainwright, Clayton Kershaw, Cole
Can't really
Hamels,
see you in the video. You got to get yourself up a little bit. Okay.
Max Scherzer, Felix Hernandez, John Lester, Zach Greinke, Justin Verlander, and CC Sabathia.
CC Sabathia. That's a pretty good list of people. Yeah. But it's interesting to see if we put that together now and 30 years from now, how many people would remember those guys? Like Paul Splittorff. I remember him because he played for the Royals and he was in the same division as the Twins, so I remember facing him a lot. But how many people remember Paul Splittorff? Do you remember Paul Splittorff?
I don't even know who
Or Mike Torres playing for the Mets?
I don't know who.
No? They also had one for home runs. And we'll briefly show, we have Mr. Reggie Jackson back there. I know you've heard of him, right? You've not heard of Reggie Jackson, you goofball. Yes, but some of the people in the leaders here are Greg Luzinski, the Bull, George Foster, John Mayberry, Bobby Mercer, Joe Morgan. No? Still getting no's. Jim Rice. Oh, boy, he played an awesome outfield for the Red Sox. Rick Monday, Darrell Evans. No? Just to mention a few. But if they were to do this list today, who would be in the baseball foldouts for home run active leaders?
Mark Reynolds, Jay Bruce, Giancarlo Stanton, Robinson Cano, Ryan Braun, Curtis Granderson, Nelson Cruz, Edwin Encarnacion, Miguel Cabrera, and Albert Pujols. That's a pretty good list there, but I'm thinking 30 years from now, some of these people are going to be completely forgotten. Like Bye-bye.
Mark Reynolds. I wouldn't have even thought he'd be on that list until I did a little research on it. Next is we've got the batting average leaders. And, yep, you know who Mateo saw.
Yes!
Rod Carew, and this is him with the Angels.
Something good.
Finally something good. It's Rodney Klein Carew.
I've got no clue who that is.
That's Rod Carew. Okay, well, what's your middle name? Carew.
Carew's.
Yep, well, there we go. And some of the people on here, we got another Jim Rice, Al Oliver, very nice. Pedro Guerrero.
No.
Nope. Ken Griffey Sr.?
No.
No? Have you heard of Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fred Lynn, Steve Garvey,
No.
Bake McBride, Keith Hernandez.
No.
Oh, my. Rod Carew?
Yeah.
George Brett?
Yeah.
Yep, and Bill Madlock. I remember what a good hitter he was for the Pirates, too, and also the Cubs. Kind of forget that over time. But who would be the active batting average leaders right now?
Dustin Pedroia. Again, Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols again.
Charlie Blackmon. Mookie Betts. PC Bomb.
PC, Mookie Betts.
Robinson Cano. Buster Posey. Mike Trout. Joey Votto. Jose Altuve. And Miguel Cabrera.
Again, Miguel Cabrera. He has had a wonderful career towards the end of it here. So that's a really good list of ball players.
Yeah.
Next booklet, number 4 out of the series of 5 are relief aces. So what do you think they kept track of here? Saves. I'm not a big saves guy. Kind of go along with Bill James. You come in the 9th inning, nobody on, etc. I'm all about the hold. If you come in a pressure situation, I got more for you. But saves is a big part of the game, and it's more so now than it was then. On the back, our saves leader, we've got who? Raleigh Fingers. What do you know about Raleigh Fingers?
His name is Raleigh and he has fingers.
Okay, well that works. But Hitman 23, that was the autograph that he pulled when we did our contest with the autograph cards. But some people in the inside of here, Tom Bergmeyer.
No.
No? And that shows you how saves were not a big important thing then. Tom Bergmeyer used to play for the Twins. This is him pictured with the A's at the time. We also have on the rise there Gary Lavelle.
No.
No. Dan Quisenberry, Jim Kern,
No.
Randy Moffett.
No.
No. Ron Reed, Greg Minton.
No.
Yep. So, again, you've heard of Rich Gossage. We've talked about him.
No, I have not.
You have not. Wow.
I got no clue who that is.
Well, and I thought you knew something about baseball.
I do know something about baseball.
But who would be on the list right now?
Zach Britton, John Axford,
Cody Allen.
Cody Allen.
This is where my writing gets kind of bad. Greg Holland. We've got, Joaquin Soria. Aroldis Chapman.
Kenley Jansen.
Jenley Canson.
Jose Valverde. And you got Shoots to the Stars, the finale.
Fernando Rodney.
Yay!
We love Fernando Rodney. So you know what these names, you know these players, right?
Some of them.
Yeah, some of them.
Hardly the save.
Yeah, the save leader.
And then I know everyone else.
But this is an interesting thing here. And then the final one is the stolen base leader booklet. The stolen base was a lot bigger part of the game back in the 80s than it is right now. And we've got, again, Joe Morgan on the back there. I know some of you don't care for Joe Morgan and his broadcasting, but I miss Sunday Night Baseball. I liked him and John Miller a lot better than I like A-Rod in there. But some of the other people on here, as far as the leaders, we got Larry Boa, Willie Wilson, Don Baylor as a stolen base leader. Wow. Julio Cruz, Mickey Rivers, Dave Concepcion. It's really neat to kind of see some of these players. But who do we see?
Joe Morgan.
Who is that?
Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson. Yes, he went on to steal well over 1,200 more bases from this point. And he was just a young guy here. So it shows you just how awesome of a career he had. But we also see, who's that? Do you see that, Mateo? Rodney Carew.
Oh, I thought that was Aaron Judge.
No. Back in the 83? Okay, well, who do we have as stolen base leader now, in these days?
Dan Kinsler, Jose Altuve, Brett Gardner, Carlos Gomez, Elvis Andrus, Hanley Ramirez, Billy Lampton. I don't know.
Billy Hamilton.
Oh, Billy
Can't
Hamilton.
really read my writing.
Yeah, that's wrong. D. Gordon, Jacob Ellsberg,
Jacoby Ellsbury.
and Rajay Davis.
Yep. So that is the beginning of our unveiling. There is so much to go through here and here. And this is the first. It's the 1983 Oddities. So that's the first. Thank you so much again for the contest, Blue Jacket. I'm MP Fox.
And I'm C. Fox.
Until next time, peace.
See